I've got the money to not become Hobocop. Now, I think we need to get rid of it. I was unable to find a way to store the body, which essentially just means we need to transport it away. And I guess whatever is there that I failed a check on, we are not going to find. So,
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
If you think so, officer, I'm not going to object. I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I'll take it from there.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. May they rest in processing.
It's too late to take him into processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow.
oh, okay.
Hello again, officer. How are things? Like, gone? I'm glad to hear that. Thank you, officer. Looks like I'll get mint in the ground by April.
Okay. So I guess we can... we talk with this guy?
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Well? Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow.
Oh shit, more
The
money.
electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Oh, I'm going to sing karaoke here.
Absolutely out of the question.
Absolutely in the question. First we find a sad banger. Then we sing this place to shit. Your body is ready, sire.
Okay. So, oh, I have 2 skill points. So is it time to go to bed for the night?
Yes?
I'm not sure how long we can actually investigate until we have to go to bed. I don't think there is much more that we can do anyway. So, of consciousness. We could actually research that. I mean, I'm not sure if I... well, what it was.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Okay. Let's talk about our progress.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
What are our powers
They're quite
exactly?
limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Oh, I see.
We
How about
can
ours?
arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
Oh, I see.
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
Also afraid to have a gun, I suppose.
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts.
I'm
including
the law.
Aetam. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Okay.
Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum. The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
I see.
Okay. They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
What do they
What do they
believe in?
believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
Who was
The
Dolores
historic
Day?
figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
Okay. What
The
do you
moral
think of
intern
them?
are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen. Do you?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Some police would certainly not be banned around here.
In fact, we would need them even if you didn't think that way. We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Charles is okay with me. A vigilante sounds bad.
Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
The lights of the orphan district are reflected in his glasses, the red and golden orbs of the motorway sliding like pearls on a string from east to west as Revachol commutes back to the suburbs. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Monday is over.
I
Even though
have a
you
cigarette
smoked.
every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
I see.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
The identity brief.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easily approachable in that state, but we did it.
We did it indeed.
I would say our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. In addition, we got that body down from the tree, and we performed a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we missed something, but it's up to the boys in processing now. We did perform a thorough search of the crime scene. That's great. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to here in Martinez, I mean.
That's my forte. Understand how communication is in our line of work. I mean, is it my forte though? I'm not so sure how well we did with all of our interviews.
Including Everard Clare, a daunting adversary, if there ever was one. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however.
Yeah.
He's not saying much on the matter because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Everard.
I mean, we are still working. Well, actually, we are running an errand for him, so there is that.
Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief.
On the different... Big relief.
Moving on. We tried to interview the Wild Pines rep, but she asked us to do something for her first. Fine, so be it. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
And it's a mirror. Training for a long distance run. I mean, you know, I didn't feel like we ran that much.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Okay. I like how I'm running around with a crowbar in my hand and a plastic bag to collect or tear, or however that was pronounced. Okay. So I think there was still a check in the mirror we could do. But those clothes give me interfacing. We have one that gives me half light. I'm not sure what that is. We have a hat that gives me reaction speed. Tank top would give me more logic. This gives me electrochemistry. let's see what you had there.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Is a chain cutter to fix the faucet? Okay, it would need encyclopedia and electrochemistry. But so I'd need a chain cutter in hand. And then
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned.
okay. Is there anything else that gives me interfacing? Not really. Let's see.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, the chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. Well, you know one thing for sure. You've probably never been a plumber.
Oh, I just would have needed one more. So, let's see, where do I spend my skill points? Electrochemistry, go party planet, love and be loved by drugs. Yeah, no, we don't need that. We could do, Encyclopedia 1. And you know what? Maybe I'll do one in endurance, right? Maybe it stops us from dying too easily. And then we put
A mirror hangs on the
Maybe
bathroom wall. In it, your face.
encyclopedia. Nothing that really helps with them.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species.
Okay.
Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume la Million.
Okay.
If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit, somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
Why?
Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains.
Yeah,
You
anything
have
else?
some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that.
It doesn't sound good.
It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
Interesting. 3% chance. Probably not happening. So we have... I'm not sure. I mean, I need to unlock more fort slots anyway, I guess, at some point. Not sure what I want to put in there.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
I mean, calling this a bed is a bit of a strange. This also looks like there was a couch once.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Okay.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep. And then sleep doesn't come.
Why?
Maybe it's the bed's fault.
Check
Its
the pillow.
synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smells of alcohol and sweat and grease. It barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. You won't get off this carousel quite so easily. It's
Okay.
a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it?
Maybe.
Something to do with, what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming.
Oh. I'm having a dream, I guess. Will I discover any mysteries in my dream? Oh. That seems like a perfectly normal dream, right?
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember
Do you
nothing.
remember your wife's hand on your face?
Wait, I have a wife?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth? Oh no, Funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Or you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle and the other on your dick, watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
It's a very good question.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What is Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Islas. On the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people. And you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
We can recover.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours. Bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding? You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
Wait, there's another type?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Yeah, poor guy is slightly broken, but alive, I guess.
Good going, buddy.
Just the most beautiful dream.
Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that all the time. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think.
Is my body trying to talk me into drugs? No. We're done with that for now.
It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
Nope.
Suit yourself, slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark.
I got a level up. So, I mean, intellect is basically my strength. I feel like maybe I should be putting more points in something up. Maybe more visual calculus, my signature skill. Then again, Inland Empire is an interesting one. We could do more there. Perception is very important, I guess, for a detective. We could do some more perception, just there. No, have that also as, at 5 or so. Maybe perception is a good place to be. Okay. I'm for another productive day. Oh, he's already awake.
Morning. I've got some good news. I took care of the body. The thought of him decomposing in my MC wouldn't let me sleep. I'm just
Good.
glad he's gone. We have other matters to attend to.
Indeed.
The lieutenant is downplaying his contribution. He got up before sunrise to get this done, and now he's quite pleased with himself for taking care of the gruesome business so efficiently.
The Union
Put on your
Master
body.
finally turned up, and they look rowdy. We need to talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the Union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast. I have no doubt these are the Hardy Boys Evrard told us about. The ones who keep the peace around here. And the big one must be Hardy himself.
Hey, let's talk to them.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
We could.
But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
I am.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
I think I need to figure out. This gives me minus authority. We don't want that. We have. Oh, that fault is still going on there.
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Good day, ma'am. Everything alright?
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The Union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
What's wrong with the phone
The
line?
manager was vague about it. To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them.
Okay.
I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Has your husband gone
That's
missing
just
before?
it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
What's this
Just
expedition?
some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect.
Okay.
But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock, that was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
Okay.
Oh my. What happened to the water lock?
I really don't
Well,
know.
whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Sure.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
Sure, we can look for an
Yes,
extremely
some
rare
left
insect.
field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
Sure.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Tell me more about this rare
Oh,
insect.
sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Tell you about the
Well,
insect.
It's a phasmid, technically, but
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially. Oh yeah, here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
To be
Sure.
honest, this animal sounds like a cryptid. You wouldn't happen to be searching for some kind of gnome of Jeroma, would you?
I smell pseudoscience, he's thinking. Not a big fan of that.
It's simply elusive. So much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
I see.
Establishment. I thought so.
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Do you ambush people? Does it have cool powers?
It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries, even.
Okay.
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Okay. Maybe we'll find. I mean, we are on a quest to find him anyway. Okay. Let's have a conversation with those guys.
Let me handle this.
You seem a little different today. Less hospitable.
She's the lawyer, isn't she?
You are far from home, Lieutenant. This isn't a district known for its love of self-proclaimed militiamen.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I mean, I could be mistaken, but I think that union leader said something about an Elizabeth, right? And I thought that she was a lawyer or something. Or maybe I'm mixing things up.
Not a muscle moves in her face, but her eyes trace yours, stern and perceptive.
You are looking for Titus Hardy, who you think has information on a murder the RCM is investigating. You want to interview him.
Exactly.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It's so.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Obviously, I'm a lawyer.
Ha!
A legal
I knew
counselor
it.
for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
Oh, I'm a professional investigator.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
We need to talk about the hanged man out.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there. You must really like cleaning up other people's shit.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
That's so.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine.
I must have amazing powers that I can, like, identify boot
Sitting
sizes like
on
that.
his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock Quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips, rugby cap, fingerless gloves, and numerous scars, a little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain.
I see.
In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
What's a plectrum?
Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy.
One is missing the other.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
That's so.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
Oh, so there is an 8th one.
Cop.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter.
That's
Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
It's kinda our job.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
I've spoken to that man in a bizarre quarter. Where's the container belt on the
Container belt, like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck. Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All
That's
7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Okay, who called the shots then?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
I mean, maybe I need my gun first.
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does?
I mean... most likely him, right? But does it make sense to point that out? Or should we, like... can we create some... like, how will he react if we pointed somebody else?
The sweaty man turns red and looks first down, then around him, apologetically.
It's not the fat ass. Titus runs the Hardy Boys, genius. That's why we're called the Hardy Boys. Ain't that right, fellas?
I see.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
When did they secure?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
Okay.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Is it?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
The autopsy showed there were no ligature marks. His hands were not tied. Can you explain that?
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
I have severe notes. Maybe it was the 8th person that killed him.
Yeah.
I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
Mine didn't he like have a helmet?
That's right, lawman. And then we hang the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool.
Okay.
He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
Right fucking here. The fucker started coming to our bar, asking for it.
58%. Come on, dice, please.
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way. Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Why am I so bad at rolling?
Like what, Copper? Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line in my town. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
I don't even know he was in Special
one
Forces.
Night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNE's goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all."
Likely story.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation?
Yeah, you would expect it to go the other way
He
around.
regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming.
Okay.
Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
So that the wine bottle failed to knock him out, but you knocked him out with what your like punch said earlier?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
The stories make little sense.
There's something odd here.
Yeah.
Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
I see.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
I drink so much I can't really remain one of them.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Yeah, we enforce still on.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die. We hanged him up by...
Didn't they teach you?
The autopsy showed there were...
Yeah, that's right.
Can I...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
Oh, damn it.
Like what?
We've wasted our chance to press him there.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
Not gonna happen.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this.
Good luck
Obviously.
with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Yeah. We'll probably be back.
Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
I think Harry's gonna change. Intent Psy Red check failures heal 1 morale, Fizz and Molten check failures heal 1 health. Earning cap for pain should increase to... I mean, those are reasonable bonuses though. So, oh, speed gives 1 psi. I think I now understand it. Speed is like the drug, right? So if I were on drugs, I would gain more psi. Yeah, we don't wanna be on drugs. 3 shivers is probably good, right? Then we have zoom out distance, or monitoring jump race by 1, not bad. It seems like pretty good, and I mean, more endurance. Okay. It's probably time to continue our investigation. It's also time to get another drink, so I'll be right back. Okay, let's continue. So my damaged ledger still has a check. No, wait, I can't. No, we can't equip those, but... Why does it say... There's still a logic check, but I can't actually interact with the ledge. Who knows? So, need to talk with someone for Kun. Ah, we could, we could talk with the lorry drivers.
Looking for something? It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. Suit yourself, officer. Hide your face in the sand if you so wish. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
I see.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
Exactly.
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man.
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
I see.
His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, alright? 100%.
You still sound rather
I wouldn't be so
suspicious
sure
about
about
it.
it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Would be easier if he could just, you know. So, I mean, it's a shame that I can't look inside that lorry.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently
I mean, I
washed.
can look inside,
You
I
can
can't go
see
inside, I
a
guess.
lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. Fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes sting. The odor mixes with cigarette residue.
You already checked that one
A
out.
Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
It's so.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time.
What happened last time?
An old case for my precinct. A couple of Zhimsk migrants saw a Stash Ryko stopped in the street, painted just like this, muddy brown. Murdered the driver on the spot. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested the trial, flying the banners of some old king or whatever. 5,000 came to protest.
This whole city is fucked up.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
Yeah, we're not gonna correct him on them.
Four years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Could Hangman have been aware of this guy? I mean, why would he? Who do we have here?
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
No. Excuse me,
No
ma'am.
response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Tap your
Where
fingers
am
twice.
I? Who are you?
Are you alright, ma'am?
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
What's so bad about the
The men have
50s?
small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber? Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is.
Who is them?
This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Okay.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
Exactly.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
I mean, we know there was a mysterious woman. The soles of your boots.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
Okay.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this.
Okay, so she was not a dame.
Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened 500 years ago.
Okay.
It was. And then it was no more. And I was no longer holding my father's hand. He was no longer descending the stairs in Ryle. The crowd had gone silent.
Is this woman as high as a kite?
Perhaps it was another Herife who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions. Or perhaps it was one of the others in this carnival. I don't remember.
As she says carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue and the machines.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare.
Okay.
The woman sways her wrinkled shell back and forth, a strange grin across her face.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesky.
I have a feeling this woman doesn't have anything helpful to our case. Or our side quest.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
What are you hauling?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Okay, I've always wanted a friend in the underworld.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This
Sure they do.
cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grodd in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
Maybe.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust bucket. Maybe the A6?
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
I see.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
I'm like a man who knows about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
You wouldn't know who holds
But
them, right?
those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
I see.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
So we have the third guy who is apparently...
Everything's
It's apparently
still
also a
cool
drunk
here,
driver.
officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless
Sure they
you're
do.
into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
Super into
Very
drugs.
cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs.
I'm
Sadly,
only saying
I
this
don't have any
obviously
drugs
to
on
get him to
sale,
confess.
Or at my home, or on my person.
Really?
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
That's
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
I mean, your kind of street shop is on the road next to a lorry where the lorries are stuck, and they seem to all be coming from crates that would probably be transported by lorry. So the case that you are just selling the stuff of your truck is pretty solid.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. I'm... Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot.
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
What do you know about the drug operation?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
Could you tell us some names?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Should we just go with...
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After we've called his boss.
Oh, are we doing bad and even worse, cop?
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
So please don't listen to this mess. Should we just go with the maybe?
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
Maybe there was something to this lady and she was just...
She was strange.
Maybe she was just pretending
He's
to be
not
like...
ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Okay.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
Yeah, we are not trying to extort him for money now. We aren't that desperate. I actually... What do I need for a night? Like 20 or so? I think I can... Or was it 21? I think it was like 20, right, for a night. I think I could afford the next night. We are good. Okay, that bridge is still not working. We need to talk to the lorry drivers again, I think.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? I don't want to talk about that.
Why?
Man, I was hoping it isn't gonna be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore.
So it's not the crazy
She isn't some
lady.
evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Okay, who is this
Thank
person?
God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
How
A
does she
youngish
look?
woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
That's not a very good explanation.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Okay.
Then she may have dyed it again.
A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
Okay.
It's true. We would of course a lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
My own inner voices. Not in agreement.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
Really?
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
Exactly.
I don't believe you.
That she's
She's got
sharper.
the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Okay.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now, but we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
If they are afraid, they're probably not happy
He's
to wrap
right.
around.
There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances, and he's okay with others ratting her out? Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too.
Really?
You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Imagine
Really?
an explosion of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
My inner voice is concerning. I mean, force Tommy how?
I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here. Valori's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
But he even had the keys?
When did she leave?
Last Friday. She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
So essentially, she probably bamboozled him and made him do the drug smuggling then.
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
No. I don't know. I bet you are.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir. I know it was hard, but you did the right thing.
Exactly.
You don't really think so?
Yeah, I think so.
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in the RCM. Take care, sir.
Okay. We can now get into that truck. If I can find it. Ah, there it is.
This green found, A to Z, Contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our man pointed to.
You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just...
Oh, please, tell me it's not booby
The smell
traps.
of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
Oh, there's something hiding there.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
What's the
remnants
smell?
of a sweet juniper-scented perfume. Probably grenade number 5.
I've got perception.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the camera, too. The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard, and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Okay,
Looks
send me the
like
radio.
The frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation, with quite a range too.
Curious.
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
The ghostly actresses, and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat, and the oddly bulging seat cover. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver.
Interesting.
But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
How could this be the woman, like with the wasn't there something with the souls, with the boot prints that we found? If there is sandpaper, a throttle, that would mean that the one shoe has been, like the sole has been worn off.
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Exactly.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
No. It's also the one running the drug trade. Missing a tardy here.
Looks like her, yes. Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
I think the entire union is involved. Maybe all of Martinez. Look at this. It would fit with Troy's terrorists, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
We should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The
No.
movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio, voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Curious.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mass of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Interesting. Where does this
To
road
Kulo,
lead?
through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct.
So it doesn't sound like that's the sewer system around here. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if we end up in some sewers at
No
some
storm
point.
will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own. The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake.
They're so doing something in the sewers.
Despite the cold, figures move about cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in white clouds that fade into the darkness. Wherever you look, the night gives cover to her messengers. They travel from eminent domain to perdition and onto the main, over the River Esperance, on Route 881 to the Old South. The exit ramp is supposed to be shut down, but there's much activity. The road spreads like the tentacles of a great octopus. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Ahura Mazda, it's a dark parody. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect.
Okay.
Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Oh, I see.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
Makes
The
sense.
stack of maps looks just like before. Barely. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
Interesting. Might be relevant
Slides
later.
back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, dust on the windows. It closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Sure.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like a good idea.
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
So we're thinking this is beyond the Union? Or maybe the Union is just a pawn or helping some other
I'm
organization?
not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
Indeed.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
Okay.
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the
Corruption.
same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
The film is That's quite a stretch.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
Debrief over, after you.
Possibly unimportant. So we have report back to Joyce, confront the Hardy Boys. Actually, can we, like, we found in the serial number of the boots of the guy that, you know, or of like the corpse. Maybe they have an update for us on
Inside,
that.
you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
If you had back about that serial
Yes.
number.
The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Semenine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Semenine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Crenel, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
I see.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her, an opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then. 57's over and out.
In the
We
cabin,
might be
you
getting
see
some
a
more
set
info
of
there.
steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
So I do have another skill point. The question is, do I skill something or do I get another thought going? I mean, none of those look all that interesting, I think. So maybe we'll wait what comes up there. Do we first talk with the union rep? Or, not the union rep, maybe we'll talk with the Hardy Boys first. And then later with the lady.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Sadly, he's dead, so he can't do that.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Okay. So I guess this is the only option. I was hoping there was another option about the last Hardy Boy.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
Do the honors.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
You mean profiting off the poisoning of your own people?
Boo fucking who. People will always be taking drugs. Might as well do it clean and organized.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean and organized. And the Hardy Boys are running it.
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself.
I see.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy Boys here.
My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
I'm not very good with authority, am I? We'll need to work on our authority. Should I put skill points into authority? Maybe. Could help. I mean, I'm not going to, try to establish authority right away. We'll have some other things to do. It's not that I'm scared, but okay, maybe I am. So, who do we have here?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
I'm the...
Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
I see.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Know what a book is. Books are like very long letters with stories. It's inappropriate to lecture this
Don't
guy.
be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
No.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
Look, I have voices in my head. It's fine.
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here.
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Could help by brutally dismantling it.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store.
Okay. I have a feeling we are not getting case-related information here. Who is this?
Yes? Hello? Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Good question.
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read. It is.
Okay. Maybe not everything is a crime or related to crime. Wait, what is this? Have I clicked on this yet?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Who is Cindy? Why checker am I trying? Why am I looking at this wall?
Because this is no ordinary wall. It is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors.
See, this is a check that I succeed in. That was very hard. And it's probably a pointless check.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God.
Imagine if I wrote on a useful check like that.
Oh, Wallfather.
I must paint this wall.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
If you must.
Look, Kim, we are doing important work here, probably.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
What for?
It's for art.
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about?
Grand art. Everything is said and shit, and we need art to make it okay.
Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience. Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Everything, really.
Maybe no art today. Maybe I should have sent something else earlier.
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time. Piggy, I have no idea why I just told you that. You look like a shaggy dog left in the rain for too long. I have a weakness for animals. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cats. And my name's not Mona, so... Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
Now, can I get your brush?
Means the opposite.
Oh. Okay, let's advance our case a little bit. I already checked this out.